That's why cancel culture is not going to work because you keep trying to cancel these people, but the demand isn't going away. So it's always going to be someone new that's coming in. Like a while back, like this whole the I would say I don't even know the name for it. Just intersexual dynamics, red pill philosophy. I mean, Kevin Samuels was like becoming that star, and suddenly he had a heart attack. He passed away. Boom, he's gone. And then you put in Andrew Tate, and now he's rising. Then boom, he gets canceled. Then the Sneeko guy, he's over here. His channel is doubling every 2 months. He's rising. Boom, he's gone. But the thing is, you keep removing these people, but the demand is still there. So now, soon, it's just a matter of time. Someone else is going to insert themselves here, and they're just going to rise. And it's just you could keep trying to kill them, but they're going. There's always going to be a new person that appears to fulfill that demand.
Yeah, but there's a bit more to it. As it becomes more and more well understood that talking about this topic is going to get your account banned, fewer and fewer people are going to talk about it. So it triggers self censorship. For example, there are certain things I don't talk about on Twitter anymore. I just stick to Telegram for those topics. It's because all the people who talk about that topic, they get banned.
What topic? No, no, you don't just say it.
So my point is that it kind of has a self censorship effect. And that's what they want. They want people to censor themselves. They don't want to do the censorship. They want to send the message that if you do this, we're going to censor you. So might as well you shut up about it. So we let you make some money in peace.
Well,
That's
that's
the
where
message.
other organizations come to the rise. So this is where Rumble, like if you guys ever had an opportunity, this is your opportunity. See, this is the cool thing with capitalism where things can always emerge. Like you can't ever predict what is fully going to happen. That's just the nature of markets. And with markets, everything is connected to a certain point. So if YouTube is going to self implode, then boom, now you got another opportunity that's presenting itself. So they may self censor, sure, but then another opportunity can always present itself. This actually reminds me of the wrestling wars. Where did you
Do
ever
you
watch
remember
wrestling?
Parlor? Do you remember that there was a social media website called Parlor, which was going really, really popular?
Was it growing popular? I remember there was a period it was growing popular, but did they
It
ever
was
kick
going
them away?
really popular, but what they did was they essentially realized that if this thing gets really popular, it's going to replace Twitter. So they made it go away from the internet by getting it banned from AWS.
Ooh, that's bad.
So it's true that something new can show up, but they have a very strong stranglehold on anything that can show up because they have a stranglehold on AWS and all these server infrastructure companies. So I believe that a solution that is going to be around for a while will have to come from a decentralized system like crypto.
Interesting. What you said before is a very wise statement where you said there's certain things that I don't talk about because it'll either get you banned or shadow banned. Where there's a sector of the internet that's like, oh no, that's coward stuff. You have to still say it. But you're wise enough to understand that there are certain rules. Where with this Sneeko individual, I don't watch much of his content, but I did see others that were like, you gotta just alter the message a tad bit, bud, because what you're saying has a lot of truth, but the way you're delivering it, it actually goes against certain community guidelines. And it's like to help your movement for the long run, you just gotta tweak certain stuff. So if you because your whole movement is going to die if you're banned. So be somewhat strategic. So I mean, it's very unique to hear you say something like that because I mean, where one part may be like, "Oh, that's not," you still must say it. You're like, "No, no, no." I mean, I know certain boundaries.
I mean, see, if I get my account banned, it's going to be far more hurtful to a lot of people who are finding it very useful than to hear a couple of things that will get me banned from Twitter.
Hmm.
So it's probably best that I stick to Twitter for more, let's say, less bannable opinions I have. And something that's more bannable goes on Telegram, where they can follow me anyway. It's free.
Hmm. How's Telegram like? Are they doing any of these slick stuff?
It's way more free speech than Twitter is, but Telegram is one of those platforms which doesn't grow organically. For example, on Twitter, people will find you organically and they will follow you. On Telegram, it's more like an email newsletter where you have to get people from other places. But just because you're a good content creator on Telegram doesn't mean that everyone on Telegram is going to find you and follow you.
Hmm.
So they're different. You can't compare them. Telegram is more like a newsletter.
Oh yeah. I mean, a lot of people use these organic sites like Twitter, YouTube, etc., to grow their Telegram and their newsletters. That's why I do it. I mean, I'm not over here like trying to build my house on a sandcastle. I use Twitter, YouTube as flyers to grow my email list, and that's the distribution channel I own. So I don't expect for it to grow organically. I'm going to have to put in the effort, but that's what the organic stuff is for. It's just an engine to funnel them into the the kingdom that I own. And it's like, go ahead, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm listening.
No, no, and like you could all say, well, like there's some censorship with the newsletter as well. Sure, I mean, but I could always switch newsletters and stuff. The most degree of control I have is the newsletter versus Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, all of that. I use them just as an engine of organic growth to funnel it to something else.
See, I agree with you there, but I will say that even in your case, you will find that a significant portion of your income from ArmaniTalks comes from social media.
In the initial stages, but if you think like if you like think from here to here, you'll see like a lot of people can make more long-term money with the newsletter if you're emailing it appropriately, if you're building your true fans there. Because with algorithms, organic stuff, you're always going to be slave to an algorithm where like they could just stop showing you out of nowhere. But the people who actually give you their email, they want to hear, like they're in a different mindset versus someone that is just following you on social media. It's like people that you're going on a date with versus someone that you actually slept with. You're hooking up, yeah, but it's a different degree.
I agree there. I think that that's true. But I can say, at least in my case, I find that at least 35 to 40% of the income comes directly from, social media, as opposed to newsletter, the blog, etc. Stuff that I actually own. So there's definitely value there in securing your social media thing. But if you ask me, like if you take someone like me, I'm not a good example of this because I don't do this for a living, right? I'm just more of a hobby guy who also makes some money with this. But I know people who do social media for a living, like that's their thing. Like if they stop doing social media, their income would go to zero and they would starve. So they need to maintain their social media revenues. And
Mm,
for those people, it's extremely important that they don't get their account banned.
yeah,
Newsletter or no newsletter, even if you get 40% of your revenue from social media, if you get that banned, not only does your newsletter stop growing, you also lose 40% of your revenue. So for those guys, it's extremely important.
that's very true. That's why you always have to have that bigger perspective where you could you could be making a lot of money from your social media, but hypothetically, just entertain this thought experiment. If your social media was to be banned, what then? Like, are you investing the money appropriately or to other stuff? So, I mean, these are some thought experiments to do.